So is the AI data center boom actually real? Or are investors getting way ahead of themselves? And as an investor for years now in the AI infrastructure plays like NBIS, which we're going to be going in today, the stock has been one of the biggest winners in the AI infrastructure trade. But the data center spending, the accelerating of the hyperscalers, committing hundreds of billions of dollars to AI, and the new capacity coming along every single quarter has investors asking that exact question. Is the demand really there? Or are we heading towards an oversupply? So today we're going to just break down NBIS, an AI data center company that focuses on working with companies like Microsoft, Amazon, Google, Meta, and OpenAI to supply the AI compute for these massive companies. One thing to note is that when you're looking at an industry like this, the demand is definitely there. You can look at broader ecosystems or just the underlying technology that's being in demand. For example, the photonics, the semiconductors, the construction of these infrastructure campuses, all these things, it would be nearly impossible that these companies aren't growing significantly if they were seeing all that construction, of course. I use Prophecy, and this is actually our company. You just saw me pull them up a moment ago. I can get projections from the best models in the world. And so I know firsthand as a founder that owns a company like this, that we actually see a ton of usage from investors just like you. And this is a system that I've used personally to keep up to date with the top companies in the world, from the data center markets to the quantum markets to the space tech markets. Everything that's going on, it's almost impossible to keep up without having AI perform research and find deals for you. And so that's where, I've actually seen the real world usage. You could see just in the last 7 days from our users here at Prophecy, we've had 13,500 projections on Gemini alone. In Claude, over the last 7 days, 13,600 projections. On Meta, 12,900, 13,174 on GPT, Grok, 15,569. So this argument that, maybe quanta or maybe AI is not actually useful is not really holding up, at least as someone that owns a company that's seeing firsthand what it's doing. For example, investors are able to make significantly more money if they're relying on, for example, evaluations and projections that are correct in their direction 64% of the time. That just gives an edge for investors. So investors are able to make more money, and they're able to essentially be able to extract value by using the AI. The biggest issue, if you're looking at NBIS, while they have a very consistent uptrend from $89 in March, late March 31st, up to $282 recently by June, and they've sold off since June into June 10th now. They've now sold off from 282 down to 209. And they're in this overall uptrend with a previous resistance level around $200, at least that's what I've identified here, that most likely will act as a support. Let's also just head over to Prophecy real quick. So it looks like over the next day or the next month here and next week, the nearest support level is actually going to be right around $200. That's what the AI says. And the secondary support is at 175. So if this doesn't hold and the market continues to sell off a little bit into tomorrow, or we got the SpaceX IPO coming up, so that might be intense as well, then you're going to see break in pattern down below the 200-day moving average, that green line. And then you're going to see the nearest support level around that 175 for NBIS, in which case they're selling down about 13%. But most projections and what we're seeing is that potential continuation of trend, that this has been a pullback and that hyper bull trend continues. Now, why is that? Well, one of the things that you have to consider, and this is going to be one of the biggest constrictions or the biggest constraints, you could say, of the data center market, is going to be that they are able to support the energy, and the energy companies are going to see big infrastructure build outs, massive load growth, self-generation microgrids, energy deal. You're going to have to see resource allocation that is not drought-stricken areas, that is not going to negatively impact any households, that's not going to increase the amount of spend in the local communities. The regulation pressure, Texas lawmakers and EPA are currently reviewing sweeping data center regulations. It's good they're doing that because things are moving so extremely fast. I don't think that they have any idea what's going on. And I say that as an investor in data center markets. And I could say that there's probably going to be some slowdown on the actual development of how fast these things are springing up. It would be kind of similar to if they had a new rocket launching in every single state and all these space companies start to just come out of everywhere and everybody's launching rockets. They're going to have some big problems because that's a lot of pollution. It's a lot of regulation. There's some safety issues. The local communities could see. I mean, I grew up with asthma. They could see some issues. And so same thing with data centers. If there's new power sources that are off-putting with certain pollution, pollutants that are going to hurt local communities or change the economics, then of course they're going to need more regulation. They're going to have to look through things more in depth. So that's the biggest, I would say, constraint, which is a good constraint. It's actually very good. I think it's quite excellent that they continue to assess the integrity of how these companies develop. We don't want to have anything negative come out of the AI revolution. And while we're in a golden age, we want to build steady. And it's okay if things are slow, because that means when we have growth, it will be kept because it's built on a strong foundation. Whereas if we have, things just rallying, all these huge data centers being built without any, forethought of what's going into the construction of these data centers and the energy and the power and everything else in the local communities, then that's going to end very badly. So it's good that they have a lot more of this. So anyway, that's one of the main constraints that you could see slowed up growth in some of these companies. Now, when it comes down to the actual financials and you look at a company like NBIS, as we mentioned, they got Meta, Microsoft, they're working with Google. And if you go to their site, you have an idea of kind of what their focus is. As they've been growing significantly year over year, their revenue is now up over 680% in revenue, with positive net income of $400 million last quarter. And you go to their site, they specialize in the cloud computing. Now, as you guys know, we do hold long-term in a lot of these companies in the data center market, and NBIS is one of them. I also find it really interesting to trade these companies short-term. And if you're not fully familiar with how to do so, you can trade obviously the ticker symbol, but a lot of people find that while things are either crowded over there or the exposure or the volatility isn't quite as big, although it was up 14% recently, the opportunity in trading some of the 2x opportunity here is something you can see when you're on Moomoo. So on Moomoo, one thing I jump into, and the reason I've been using this platform recently, is that if you're new to Moomoo, you can find a lot of institutional grade analysis here, but you can also just click into ETFs and see all the 2x plays related to this company. Right now, Moomoo actually is giving any new investors and traders the opportunity potentially to make up to $1,000 with qualifying deposits and get some NVIDIA stock. If you want to get the opportunity to do so and also use some high quality tools for free, it's going to be the first link in the description, or you can use the QR code on the screen. Let's continue into the video. So the scale of AI is going to be heavily impacted by the ability for these companies that every single one of them have mentioned this problem. And it's not a problem, it's actually their next investment, which is Apple, Tesla, Google, Microsoft. All these companies all said that they are going to be having more spend going into the AI cloud and infrastructure for AI. Now, with that being said, what does that mean? Well, it means they're going to spend more. And that's actually what made a lot of the top companies in the world that are in the AI markets pull back, is because they were saying they're going to spend more. So their financials might not look as good next quarter. But what did that mean? So you had Broadcom, for example, come out and they said, our guidance is lower, our revenue guidance is lower. And the whole market kind of pulled back on that type of news. It's CapEx, it's expenditures that they're going to be putting into capital expenditures into the AI infrastructure. And so while that's not so good, maybe in the short term for some of those top Mag 7 companies, it does mean that smaller companies like NBIS or APLD, or another one we were looking at recently, which is a little overvalued, is RUM, TSSI for sure, Oracle, CoreWeave. We're looking at Iren, Keel is another small one. All these data center companies, feel free to screenshot the watch list if you want. But my point is that there's more spend maybe impacting negatively on the top companies, but smaller companies stand to benefit tremendously from this new capital expenditure because it's going to these companies. That's why we see their financials absolutely explode. So there's 4 ways to evaluate a company outside of the 3 map strategy that I normally use. Normally we go through the market, which includes real world usage and financials, which in this case, this company has pretty solid. Then you go through the fundamentals, the technical analysis, the financials. That's kind of what we went through. Things look pretty good there. We could go deeper in the financials. And then, the third of the map strategy is to look at the profit plan. I personally hold this company long term, and I'm also looking for a shorter term entry for a trade that could potentially be about 20 to 40% if it continues up in this consistent uptrending pattern. Otherwise, if it breaks below $200, then things are going to look a little bit more bearish, and we will just play it cautiously and just hold some of our long-term positions and probably not enter heavy on any short-term trades, especially since we're going to be allocating most likely into some space tech for some moves with the SpaceX IPO. But aside from that 3-part map strategy of the market, the analysis, and the profit potential and kind of the plan, and the reason we would enter here, one more thing actually, is because of the risk to reward. We're near the support level, rising support, trend looks good, and we could have our stop loss set for short-term trade. It's something we already hold long-term, where we would be able to cut losses and in that break-in pattern, whereas the margin for profit is much greater. So it's a nice trade to be looking at. But aside from that 3-map strategy, you have the other kind of 4 pieces. And I was just learning this actually today. I really like this setup. I was just learning this from a nice YouTuber actually. His name is Sharon Srivatsa, and he was talking about these 4 kind of pillars that he's gone through that has allowed him to make successful investments. He used to work at Goldman Sachs, and he had a really good breakdown of these 4 kind of pillars. The first one was good people, looking at the companies, knowing that they have good stewardship. So that would be the stewardship. Good intentions. That's a big one, especially with data center companies, making sure that they're building with renewable energies. I have seen some of that on the company while they're talking about scaling AI. There's also some talk about the resources that they're using, that they are choosing places that are very cold, for example, and that they are partnering with companies that are making it easy for them to build the infrastructure without putting a big toll on the environment or local communities. And then the third one that I saw here was good rationale. I really like this. Does it make sense to be looking at AI infrastructure right now? Yes, we're in a golden age. This company's growing. We see all the AI infrastructure growing tremendously, and the financials can't keep up. So it seems like it's really good rationale for the investment. And then the fourth one, I don't know if we could find it here. Maybe we can. Good contracts. The good contracts mean that they actually are demonstrating good contracts with partnerships with other companies, and that their trust from other companies is heavy. And we see that with NBIS. Once again, you got NVIDIA as a top partner. They are working with Microsoft. They're working with Google. You can see Cursor is one of their top companies. We've spent thousands of dollars per month in the past. We don't use it anymore on Cursor. You've got Higgsfield was a big one. You got Revolut is a big one. These are smaller companies they're working with. And then you have the top, the bosses, you could say, with Microsoft and Meta, where they're finding their biggest deals. And that's really where the contracts are huge, and most likely we would see it reflected in their upcoming earnings. If you look at the Investor Hub, you look at some of their press releases in the last few months, they've got Bank of America is one, Bloom Energy is a top partner. They're working with NVIDIA there. They also had a big Meta contract, I believe it was recently. There's just a lot of these deals that they're having with these AI companies. There's the deal with Meta there. The contracts look good as well. But if they do find support here, we're just going to look for that opportunity and see if it presents itself tomorrow morning at market open. And we'll be using Prophecy for that projection as well, along with our daily live trading. If you'd like to tune on into our daily live trading, it's the second link in the description below. Would love to see you there at market open. We're there every day, 6:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So it's early in the morning, but we do show up there Monday through Friday. Would love to have you there. You can see my entries and my exits and surround yourself with other investors and traders. And when it comes down to using Prophecy, the best AI models in the world in your hands, whether you're on the desktop or the computer or your phone. It's super easy, and you get the best financial data in the world with accurate direction projections from Prophecy. That's going to be the third link in the description to get access. Hopefully I earned your thumbs up. Do consider subscribing, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.